Oh, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. So many dreams, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another special Ramadan reminder podcast episode where we are taking just one ayah from the Quran on different days in Ramadan, inshallah, and trying to think about how we can apply the lessons in our everyday lives. If you are new here, my name is Aisha Abdul Hadi and I help Muslimas without overwhelm. So, inshallah, let's, as usual, first of all, listen to the ayah. This time we are going to be focusing on Surah Al Anfal. And for those of you who are following along and want to take out your Qur'ans and have a look, we are concentrating on ayah number 46. So, chapter 8, ayah number 46. Let us first listen to the ayah, inshallah.
وأطيعوا الله ورسوله ولا تنازعوا فتفشلوا وتذهب ريحكم واصبروا إن الله مع الصابرين.
Okay, so interpretation of the meaning of ayah 46. Obey Allah and His Messenger and do not dispute with one another, or you would be discouraged and weakened. Persevere, surely Allah is with those who persevere. So let's have a little think about what we can learn from this ayah, inshallah. So, in this ayah, it talks about the impact of unity for Muslims, unity both in family and in society as well. And actually, unity serves as a cornerstone of strength within families and societies. When individuals stand together, they cultivate environments of support, resilience, and collective progress. Conversely, discord and disputes can happen when the opposite is true, right? And when you're not standing together, whether that's as a family or whether that's as a society. And what happens then? This leads to disputes, which leads to fragmentations, and this diminishes the collective strength that would have been present and the collective harmony of if you worked together as a community. So, this ayah talks about disputes weakening relationships and teamwork because we read and obey Allah and His Messenger and do not dispute and thus lose courage, and then your strength would depart, and be patient. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. So this verse emphasizes the importance of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a means to maintain that unity. Engaging in disputes leads to loss of courage and the disintegration of collective strength. So, actually, the command to be patient underscores that perseverance is essential in upholding unity and achieving success. So, let's have a think about this in our everyday life, right? And is in present times, subhanAllah, and how disunity harms Muslim communities. First of all, there's the loss of collective strength. Okay, because if you're not even together as a community, and this is astaghfirullah true in today's day and age, you look at the different communities, at Muslim communities and different families and societies, and we're all fragmented, and there's so much dispute and disagreement going on for every little thing. And what happens then? Then you become vulnerable to external threats and also decay from the inside because people lose interest, people leave the community, people just don't like each other, and there's arguments happening all the time. Then there's the diminished spiritual integrity that would have been present in that community. Why? Because you're straying from the path of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger. And this leads to moral and spiritual decline anyway, if you diverge from that path. Then also there's the obstruction of progress. If the people are too busy fighting and having internal conflicts, this diverts attention and resources from moving forward from constructive progress and endeavors that you might otherwise have been doing because you're too busy internal fighting and spending your resources on sorting out those arguments, disputes, fights, and you're not advancing in society, subhanAllah. So, what are some practical ways in which we can, resolve these conflicts effectively? First of all, adherence to the divine guidance. Prioritize your obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in all matters. Use the Quran and Sunnah as primary references for conflict resolution. And these days, subhanAllah, everyone's an expert in everything, aren't they? Because they just think that they can get quick references from here, there, anywhere and apply it to situations which it might not be applicable. Leave that to people who are maybe more experienced or expert in those aspects, instead of everybody jumping on the bandwagon and getting involved and creating fitna, but it's not even needed for your opinion or input. But sometimes people are just waiting for that opportunity to do those things. So try and stick to the Quran and Sunnah. Secondly, promotion of patience and forbearance. So you have to be patient in your personal and communal interactions. Yes, sometimes there might be something you don't agree with or a disagreement, when you're thinking about living in a community and collective opinions, and there's a lot of different people with different opinions, but there's a way to interact with people and get those opinions across. And that way is through engaging in constructive dialogue. So, address disagreements through respectful and sincere communication and aim for reconciliation and mutual understanding. If there has been a difference of opinion or a disagreement, whether that's within a family unit or within something going on in the society or in the masjid, wherever that community is for you. And then think about implementation of mediation and arbitration. So utilize impartial people, mediators, to facilitate that conflict resolution when it's gone beyond the normal control, and put people in there who want the benefit of the society or the family, whatever, whoever it is having those conflicts, and they can be objective and they are following the Quran and Sunnah and they want to solve the problem, not worsen it. Because sometimes what happens is when these conflicts happen, people who are in a power of position, who are supposed to be resolving these problems, might be corrupt people themselves, because they've got no interest in creating unity within the community. They're more interested in creating harm and division. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from this, inshallah. So to summarize today's little mini ayah, inshallah, think about, as a community, whether that's starting from your family or beyond to the other people in your community, how you can stay united and how you can use your collective strength. Subhanallah, imagine you all come together collectively on the same page, working together, how much improvement you can make for adults and children in the community, for offering different services and standing together as a united ummah, subhanallah, and also seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, rather than engaging in those things which create disunity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of us to apply these things in our everyday lives, inshallah. I hope you have found that mini lesson useful for today. Don't forget, if you missed any of the Ramadan reminders, you can easily find them both on the YouTube channel or on any podcast app, inshallah. But until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi